Warning, this video isn't for anyone under the age of 16. If you're under 16 years old, please leave the video now because we do get into some adult type shit. Thank you. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy CharlesISanimeWorld, and welcome to my review of Undead Unluck Chapter 4. I love this chapter because, for me personally, this chapter felt complete. It had a great beginning and a great end. And a lot of things were discussed within this chapter, so let's talk about it. You know, things that we can dissect and talk about. Now, like always, guys, this will be an audio-only review, so if you need to take care of anything else, just do that and just listen to me. So let's get this thing started. Now, Andy's parts weapon skills. Okay, we saw a new one today with the parts bullets fist. So not only does he have a Yusuke Urameshi's type finger bullet gun, now he has a Monkey D. Luffy bullet fist as well. But like many of you guys, including myself, I was a little confused about Andy's skill, and it was explained in greater detail within this chapter. And I'm going to read for you guys what Andy said within this chapter. He says, "It's all about how you use it. My undead ability just prevents me from dying, right? But if I cut a part of my body nearly off, all the way off, and make it grow back in place, it becomes a weapon." So basically, I was wondering last week, where was this force coming from that could actually shoot a fingertip so fast that it can actually kill somebody? And basically what he does, he nearly cuts off his finger, and he nearly cuts off his fist. I assume he nearly cuts off his leg or any body part. He nearly cuts it off. And because he regenerates so fast, the force of that regeneration is what pushes his body parts off of him, and that's how he uses his ability. So, okay, I get that. I understand that now. And I thank the mangaka, the author, for actually explaining it further in detail on, you know, how this parts weapon skill actually works. So now I kind of get the gist of it, and I understand now how Andy was able to travel from building to building so fast, how he was jumping off, because every time he would land, his legs would probably just shatter from the mere force and nearly break off. And then once they would nearly break off, the new legs would just regenerate so fast that that's what, you know, propelled him even further. So I get all that now. I'm okay with that. Now, we also learn more of the Elite 10 of the Union. We find out about the Unbreakable. You know, he basically made Andy's katana that he used because Andy stole it from him. Andy stole it from him. So we found out a little about him. And we have another person that's the engineer. And his name was kind of hidden, but just because everybody starts with the part of like unbreakable, unconfidential, undead, you know, unluck, I assumed that his name would be the unconstructible. That's what I'm going with because he's an engineer. You know, engineers can destruct things, construct things. So I'm going with the unconstructible one. And he's basically an engineer that was in charge of all the torturous experiments that they put Andy under once he got captured before. I also believe that this guy, the Unstructable, is the one that created Void's suit, because I honestly believe that the original Void that we saw Andy kill with a finger bullet to the head, I think that Void is still alive. I think that Void is actually a much smaller person, and that whole giant suit or armor was something like a mecha. So I believe that guy is still alive. I think Void is still alive. Where is he at right now? I don't know. Everybody left him behind because they assumed he was dead. Even his partner, because I don't think his partner even knew that there was another person probably on the inside. Because if you remember, Void said if it wasn't for that stupid old man in this suit, you know, I would be dead by now. So again, the Unconstructible, that's what I'm going with, the engineer guy, he's the one that created Void's suit. So I still think that Void is still alive. And next, guys, we have Gina, the Unconfidential. And basically what Gina can do is she can create invisible barriers. So I can't wait to find out more about Gina. We also found out something else about Gina as well, but I'm going to save that for the end of the review. Now, We found out a little bit more about Shin as well. Shin was also a member with Void, one of the first members of the Union that we actually saw, one of the Elite 10. So we found out a little bit more about Shin. He's of Chinese descent. He speaks the language, as well. And he's actually really, really ripped. Like, I mean, Shin is like really ripped. And I can definitely see Shin helping out Andy and Fuko later on once they join the Union. Like, Shin seems like a really cool character, and I like him. And we also find out that Mui, she seems to be the one who makes the glass traveling process. Because if you remember, guys, when Andy and Fuko saw Shin and Void, they came in through like a broke glass in the sky. Like, it looked like the glass was cracking, and I believe that that's Mew's ability. Like, she was the one that did that as well. So that's really cool as well. Now then, we have to talk about this. We see Andy and Fugu, they're riding in a yacht, Andy's yacht, and then they get and it gets destroyed by something from space. And again, we find out that that's actually Gina. And damn, Gina, and yeah, and Gina is actually in love with Andy. Now, we all know this is some type of sick, twisted love. We've seen this in anime and manga many times before, so it's nothing new. So that's going to be a very strange, weird love triangle where you have Andy in love with Fuko, well, trying to win Fuko's affection so Andy can die. Then you have Gina also in love with Andy, and that in turn is going to make Fuko probably dislike Gina, and Gina like dislike Fuko because they're both want Andy's love, but Andy only has eyes for Fuko. So it's gonna be a very weird love triangle going forward. Now, Gina uses her space station or satellite to destroy Andy's yacht, which in return sends them both plummeting to the bottom of the ocean. So Fuko is trapped underneath debris. Andy saves her, and Andy has a strange look on his face. And I'm probably gonna make that the thumbnail. I'm probably gonna color that because when I saw that, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, Fuko's unconscious, and she's unconscious, and Andy, what Andy wants. So Andy wakes up Fuko, says, put your arms up. And Fuko thinks that they're surrendering. And Andy says, no, we're just going to lure them in. And she's in basically because Fuko doesn't understand her unluck ability. Andy has a hypothesis, and basically this is how he explains it, because this is way too much for me to remember. So I have the chapter page right here, and this is how Andy explains it real quick. He says, all of your previous strokes of unluck were phenomenon that utilize things around you. But what do the lightning bolt from the haircut and the meteorite from the peck on the cheek have in common? They use things from far away, which is true. I didn't really think about that. And then Andy says, exactamundo. You forcibly pull in things from far away. I didn't realize that as well. So why did those two things happen, you ask? That's because those two instances of contact, the haircut and the kiss, are things you have great personal value for. And the material needed to output a stroke of unluck proportionates to the value was nowhere nearby. So you see, for this one, I found a source that'll provide a stroke of unluck proportionate to the value. And if my hunch is right, it's going to be a doozy of a for this one. Now, listen, going forward, guys, Fuko realizes that her bra has been pushed up because Andy had to massage her heart, to get her back to breathing again, which he really didn't have to, but this is Andy. And Fuko said, wait, that's all you did, right? That's all you did, right? And we see like the ocean building up, and I'm just wondering, like, what the hell is going on? And then Andy said, nah, that wasn't all I did. I gave you mouth to mouth too. Then out of nowhere, a fucking explosion, a volcanic eruption from under, oh my God, the ocean. An underwater volcano erupts, It sends Andy and Fuko flying through the air. Andy cuts the cockpit to one of the jets that's been chasing them with his crimson crescent moon slash. And I loved how he put the sword, the katana, back in his arm because he didn't have a sheath for it. I really liked it. That was a great panel. So they take the jet and then they continue on to Russia, and that was the end of the chapter. Overall, damn good chapter. We found out a lot more about Fuko's Unluck ability, which I really did like. Overall, damn Gina, I am very, I, I wonder what role Gina's gonna play in the future because we saw that Gina actually had Andy's head and held it in like a bowl, so he couldn't move. Like he said, he has been defeated before. He can't be killed, but he can be defeated. So can't wait to see that love triangle as well. Shin, great character as well. Can't wait to find out more about these Elite 10 of the Union, like who are going to be the actual two that Andy and Fuko are going to have to kill to actually make it into the Elite 10 as well. And another thing, after all of this, once you do join the Elite 10, you have to think about it like this. All these people, other people have been chasing you for so long. It's going to be so hard considering these people as friends moving forward. You know, like I doubt it's going to be Gina. I thought they're going to kill Gina, but think about it like this. Later on, Gina's going to be an ally. You know, the Unbreakable, the man that created Andy's katana, he's going to be an ally as well in the future. The Unconstructible, again, I'm not sure if that's his name, but that's the only one I'm going with right now. He's the engineer that was in charge of torturing Andy for all those years. I mean, he's going to be an ally now. That's going to be kind of strange, especially for Andy. But hey, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you next week. And hey, sign off, suckers.